This guy, I guarantee you, this guy has not read the law. He has not read the full fucking briefing that was given by the company, and he's literally recycling something that is 2-year old.
They're no longer legally liable for the
Wait. Let's think about this.
age verification within operating systems is moving forward in a number of different states in the USA and a number of different countries worldwide. Over in Canada, there is a law known as Bill S-209. Let me show you the bill here, just so you can see it for yourself. No, that's not it. There it is, S-209, specifically to restrict a young person's online access to pornographic material. Now, here's the interesting thing about this bill. This particular bill doesn't currently have in it a provision to include operating system age verification. Follow me on this one. Right now, Canadian Bill S-209 is working its way through the system. It's passed the third reading in the Canadian Senate and is now over in the House of Commons. I believe it's passed through its first reading there. And here's the thing. There are some very specific companies that do not like Bill S-209. Now, why? Why do they not like S-209? Because of a business reason. S-209 would not only require age verification for accessing porn websites, because that's what it's all about. This law would put the majority of the responsibility on the porn website companies themselves, right? So what we're talking about here is a law that would implement age verification, but only for adult websites, so porno websites.
All right, that's kind of retarded. Let's just read the full law in and of itself, because right now, from what he's saying, it sounds a little retarded. I mean, this onus, I'm 99, I could bet my life, okay, 99% sure, there is an onus already existing to make sure that your users are not kids. That's why, at least in Canada, if I go to fucking Pornhub, which is probably the company that he's talking about, well, it would ask me, are you 18? Like every good country, because there's laws against showing porn to minor. This already exists. So let's just start by inspecting the retardation of this man by a little bit of context. When a bill starts in the Senate, it starts with S. That's how we know it's a Senate bill. Senate bills are usually not bills that are there to change how things work. They're there to enforce something that was done by another law, but is like not correctly done as of now. Our Senate is not political. Our Senate is there just to fix things. So let's say that we had a law that was against porn for minors, and that law could be bypassed by just having the 18 thing, but we want something a little bit more strong, right? Everybody agrees that just clicking I'm not 18 is a little retarded. So maybe the Senate came in and tried to fix that, or maybe tried to do a little bit more than just saying yes, I'm 18 for that. All right, so it went through all the readings in the Senate, and it's currently getting through the House of Commons. Text of the bill. Senate of Canada Bill S-209, an act to restrict young persons' online access to pornographic material, as passed by the Senate. So this is after the third reading, the newest text that we have. So right now, no politician, no elected politician has touched this bill. It's only the Senate, and our Senate is not elected. It is an elite, okay? There's people that know how to do shit. This enactment make it an offense for organization to make pornographic material available to young persons on the internet. Furthermore, it enables, amongst other things, a designated enforcement authority to take steps to prevent pornographic material from being made available to young persons on the internet in Canada. Okay, so right now we have some kind of idea. That's a summary. So this is not like an international thing that we're trying to apply everywhere. So young people in Canada, no porn for you. Whereas, preamble. Whereas pornographic material, including demeaning material depicting sexual violence, can be easily accessed on the internet by young persons, whereas a significant portion of pornographic material accessed online is made available on the internet for commercial purposes, in particular through pornographic website, and is not protected by any effective age verification or age estimation method, whereas the consumption of pornographic material by a young person is associated with a range of serious harm, including the development of pornographic addiction, the reinforcement of gender stereotype, and the development of attitude favorable to harassment and violence, including sexual harassment, sexual violence, particularly against women, whereas Parliament recognized that the harmful effect of the increasing accessibility of pornographic material online for young persons are an important public health and public safety concern, whereas the online age verification and age estimation technology is increasingly sophisticated and can now effectively ascertain the age of the user without breaching their privacy rights, and whereas any organization making pornographic material available on the internet for commercial purposes has a responsibility to ensure that it is not accessed by young people. Now, therefore, His Majesty, by and with the advice and consent of the Senate and the House of Commons, enact as follows. So this part is because we're reading the final law that would be enacted if it was accepted. But of course, this part is not true as of now. All right. Short title. This act may be cited as the Protecting Young Persons from Exposure to Pornography Act. Well, let's just start by that. Like, I think we broadly agree with all of this, right? So it's not good to have a lot of porn accessible by kids. I think we can agree that, like, okay, can we just be real for half a second? Like, I lived very young, affected by porn as, hi, we're reading laws, okay? And we're fucking over that retard. So, like, I was a young boy on the internet, okay? And porn is a thing that you just, boom! Right? But I don't think that there was anything positive coming out of this, right? I could have used the age-old method called just jerk off. And, like, I don't think I have gained anything from watching porn. I don't come from this as a guy who's like sex negative, that's like, oh my god, people having sex is bad. I don't care, okay? The core here is that porn can exacerbate the bad things about a sexual relationship. Let's put it that way. So probably better that it's kept out of young people. So right now in Canada, like I said, you have the yes or no question. Are you 18? Yes or no? Which is all we have. But this seems to seek to do a little bit more. So let's go into interpretation. Definitions. This following definitions apply to this act. Internet service provider means a person that provide internet access, internet content hosting, or electronic mail, fournisseur de services internet. Making available includes transmitting, distributing, or selling. Minister means the minister designated under Section 3. Organization has the same meaning as in Section 2 of the Criminal Code. Okay, don't fucking know, and I don't think we care. Pornographic material means with the exception of material referred to in the definition of sexual child abuse. Child sexual abuse and exploitation material in paragraph this, any photographic, film, video, and other visual representation, whether it is made by electronics or mechanical mean, that shows the genital organs or anal region of a person engaged or depicted as engage in explicit sexual activity and is intended to cause sexual excitement. That's pretty fair, okay? Prescribed means prescribed by regulation. Young persons means individual who is under 18 of age. Okay. Designation of minister. Order designating minister. The governing council may, by order, designate any federal minister as the minister responsible for this act. Is it that it's sexual assignment? That is why these days. True. Yeah, but wait. Am I retarded? Is it a or is it an and? It's an and, right? So the two needs to be there. So technically, just feet pics would not be part of this. So, well, unless you were depicted as engaged in a sexual activity. Okay, yeah. All right. Purpose. The purpose of this act is to protect public health and public safety, and in particular to protect the mental health of young persons by restricting their access to pornographic material. B. Protect Canadians, in particular young persons and women, from the harmful effect of exposure of young persons to pornographic material, including demeaning material and material depicting sexual violence, and C. Deter organization that makes pornographic material available in the internet for commercial purposes from allowing young persons to access that material. Offense. Making pornographic material available to young people. Any organization that, for commercial purposes, makes available pornographic material on the internet to a young person is guilty of an offense punishable on summary conviction and is liable for a first offense, a fine of not more than $250,000, and for a second or subsequent offense, a fine of not more than $500,000. Like, that seems like a lot, but also it doesn't seem like a lot when we think about something as big as Pornhub. But I guess that the threat is that, like, they do it once, and if you don't do anything, they're just going to fucking... I don't understand people who says that porn is harmless. By the way, how do they want to verify age? We'll get into it. We're not there yet, but I have a... like, this discussion is going on inside of Canada for other reason than this law, so I think we'll get into it. Okay. Clarification for commercial purposes. For greater certainty, and for the purpose of Section 5, an organization that incidentally provides a service that is used to search for, transmit, download, store, or access content on the internet that is alleged to constitute pornographic material does not make available pornographic material on their website for commercial purposes. Okay, I think that the idea here is that we wouldn't want... Wait. An organization that incidentally... Okay, I think incidentally that's the issue here. So, like, Google having a link to porn would not be bad in their view. Cool. Defense. Age verification or age estimator. It is not a defense to a charge under Section 5 that the organization believed that the young person referred to as in that section was at least 18 years of age, unless the organization implemented a prescribed age verification or age estimator method to limit access to pornographic material made available for commercial purposes to individuals who are at least 18 years of age. So yeah, at least in Canada, the discussion that we're having around this is about either like a straight up age verification, like upload your ID, or a lot of people, like, this is picking up steam in all those type of discussion because we seem to like these discussions. Age estimator is like, that sounds like the thing that people like, because I mean, fuck, we have accounts on everything. We have, like, Google knows how old you are within your first two search. So yeah, you should, like, that, if that tracking can be used for that, and just for that, because technically I don't think that I would be surprised if it was legal for them to like have the information of what your age is, like, and you're underage and use that for ads. That would probably not be legal. That would already be against a couple of laws in Canada. But for the age estimator part, I don't think that's an issue. I guess it's back to DVDs then for them Coomers. Well, look, the truth here is that most likely this would not be something that is ironclad if it's like an age estimate, if you have an age estimation mechanism. But like, there is such a thing as reasonable, right? At the end of the day, I'm sure that here they're not going to go that far into how to go about the age estimation, and that's going to be something more ministerial. So the government is going to set, hey, this is your parameters for what is considered reasonable. But of course, if you're people like us, which know our way around the internet and we were kids, well, we could, right? I don't think that there's any doubt on that. So, yeah. Defense. Legitimate purposes. No organization shall be convicted of an offense under Section 5 if the act is alleged to constitute the offense. If the act that is alleged to constitute the offense has a legitimate purposes related to science, medicine, education, or art. Goddamn. Educational porn? Get me in. No. Okay. Defense. Compliance with notice. No organization shall be convicted of an offense under Section 5 if, in relation to the act is alleged to constitute the offense, the organization has received notice under Section 9 and has taken steps referred to in paragraph 9.2 C within the period set out in paragraph 9.2 D. Arts seems like a loophole. Well, not really. So, okay. Maybe you. Well, it's rare that people have the chance to look at that part of things. So the reason why we have judges and Supreme Courts and these kind of things is because those judges are supposed to look at the law, like this little thing, and say, is it a good way to apply the law? Are we applying it in good faith? Or are we just being retarded? So let's say that Pornhub was saying everything that we put on our website is art. Any judge, you don't even need to go to the fucking Supreme Court for that. Any judge would look at this and say, brother, no. Right? Because it is retarded. But when you go to the US and you see fucking failures in government, that's where your judge will essentially say, if it's good for Trump, we go with the Trump. If it's not good for Trump, you don't go with it. Like, that's the... When you have a good judiciary, the goal of the judiciary is to make sure that this, like, loopholes don't work. Those are executed with in mind that a judge will make a decision that is not completely retarded. And it is the case. In Canada, our justice is fucking... Okay? I love my justice. Chief Justice Wagner is based. Okay. Non-compliance notice. Designation. The governor in council, that's a minister plus governor general, which essentially is our version of the president if you were to copy-paste to Canada. May, on the recommendation of the minister, designate an agency, division, or branch of the Government of Canada as the enforcement authority for the purpose of Section 9 and 10. Notice 9.1. If the enforcement authority has a reasonable ground to believe that an organization committed an offense under Section 5, the enforcement authority may issue a notice to them under this section. 2. Content of the notice. The notice must state: A. the identity of the organization. B, that the enforcement authority has reasonable grounds to believe that the organization has committed an offense under Section 5. C, the steps that the enforcement authority considers necessary to ensure compliance with this act. So they must explicitly say, they must give them a solution, essentially, which is pretty cool, right? That way, there's no like ambiguity. There's no like, oh, we don't know what to do. We don't know if this is enough. No. They are going to tell you, hey, this is the issue here. Fix this. That the organization must, within 20 days after the notice is issued, take the steps referred as in paragraph C. That if the organization fails to take the steps referred as in paragraph C within the period set in paragraph D, the enforcement authority may apply to the federal court for an order requiring internet service provider to prevent access to the pornographic material by young persons on the internet of Canada. If you don't want your internet cut out, bitch. Okay. If any appropriate information in relation to a system of administrative monetary penalty made by the regulation under paragraph 12.1, and so essentially, hey brother, you're gonna pay money, okay, and that the organization may make representation to the enforcement authority in relation to any element in the notice within the period set out in the paragraph D. Okay, so essentially, who the fuck are you? What did you do wrong? How can you fix it? You have 20 days. Or else we will disconnect your internet or make you pay money, and you can reach back here. Cool. Application to federal court. Then 1. If an organization that receives a notice under subsection 9.1 fails to take the steps referred as in paragraph 9.2c within the period set out in the paragraph 9.2d, the enforcement authority may, within 20 days of the day on which the period ended, apply to the federal court for an order requiring internet service provider to prevent access to the pornographic material by young persons on the internet. Respondent. The enforcement authority that applies for an order under subsection 1 must name, in addition to the non-complying organization, any internet service provider who would be subject to the order as a respondent to the proceeding. What a fucking insane lawsuit that you got on your ass. The federal government coming in, they name every fucking ISP in the country, and they're like, we're gonna disconnect your ass. That sounds like the worst fucking thing that you could have for a porn company. Hearing in summary way. An application made under subsection 1 is to be heard and determined in a summary way in accordance with any special rules made in respect of such application under section 46 of the Federal Courts Act. I guess that means that we don't go for a lengthy proceeding and the judge just make some shit up for it. And by make some shit up, I'm not using this in a bad way. I'm just saying, probably just say, okay, you've got some proof. Looks good to me. And they fucking ship it. Where is my 46? All right. Subject to the approval of the Governor and Council, and subject to subsection 4, the Rule Committee may make general rules in order for regulating the practices and procedure federal people. Oh, okay. So essentially, go through the rules that are established, I guess. Okay, cool. So I guess if we were to look most acts that are like there to enforce something by the federal government, we would see that written in some way. Order! Order! Number 4. The federal court must order any respondent internet service provider to prevent access to the pornographic material by young persons on the internet in Canada if it determines that there are reasonable grounds to believe that the organization has been given notice under subsection 9 and 9.1 and has committed the offense referred to in section 5. My brain. Okay. B. The organization has failed to take steps referred to in Fuck paragraph 92C within the period set out in paragraph 92D and C. The service provider by the internet service provider who would be subject to the order may be used in Canada to access the pornographic material made available by that organization. Cool. Annual report to Parliament. The minister must cause to be tabled in each House of Parliament within 3 months after the end of the fiscal year, or if a House is not then sitting on any of the first 15 days on which that House next sit, a report on the administration and implementation of this act. The report must include, for the previous fiscal year, the number of notices issued under subsection 9.1, the number of application of an order made under subsection 10.1, and the outcome of application made pursuant to the subsection 10.1. Wait, am I retarded? 10.1. Okay, 10.1 is the part where we go to court. All right, cool. Regulation. The Governor and Council may make regulation for carrying out the purposes and provision of this act, including regulation specifying the circumstance in which pornographic material made available free of charge is not to be regarded as made available for commercial purposes. Okay, so they have discretion there. If it's free, does it count as commercial? Cool! Prescribing the age verification and age estimation method referred to in subsection 7.1 and... Okay, so yeah, the ministers would be in charge of figuring how the fuck this is supposed to be done. And anyway, it makes sense because in step C, like, they are required to outline how the fuck are you supposed to fix the situation. Designating as a violation the failure of an organization that receives a notice under subsection 9.1 to take the steps referred in paragraph 9.2c within the period set out by 9.2d, establishing a system of administrative monetary penalty applicable to those violations and setting a range of amount for those penalties. So essentially, they can do whatever the fuck they want for the amount of money that they go after. They can, when I say they, I mean the federal government, the ministers in charge. They can choose to designate some people to send the letters to, of course. They have some leeway into, are we supposed to, if it's free, does it count as commercial? And how do we go about age verification or age estimation? That's for them to realize. Age verification and age estimation methods. Before prescribing any age verification or age estimation method under paragraph 1b, the Governor and Council must ensure that the method A is highly effective, B is operated by a third-party organization that deal at arm's length from any organization making pornographic material available on the internet for commercial purposes. Big brain move. You wouldn't want to give your passport or any other like proof of age to the fucking porn company. That sounds like an AIDS idea. But yes, having a third party verify that would be cool. I think the government should like get in the business of doing that, but people are retards, so we're not there yet. Maintain user privacy and protect user personal information. Collect and use personal information solely for age verification or age estimation purposes. Limit the collection of personal information to what is strictly necessary for the age verification and age estimation. Destroy any personal information collected for age verification or age estimation purposes once the verification or estimation is completed and generally complies with best practices in the field of age verification and age estimation, as well as privacy protection. Overall, that sounds pretty fucking good. Administrative monetary penalties. In establishing the system of administrative monetary penalties referred as in paragraph 1c, the Governor and Council must ensure that any representation made pursuant to the paragraph 9.2g is taken into account when determining if an organization has committed a violation and in determining the amount of penalty. Coming into force. 1 year after royal assent, this act comes into force on a day to be fixed by order of the governor and council. Wait, brain? 1 year. Oh, okay. This act comes into force. Oh, okay. So this would be at the earliest 1 day after everyone agrees in the parliament and the governor general gives a thumbs up. And then we choose a date after that 1 year. And by we, I mean the ministers. Okay. So we read all this. This makes sense, okay? If you disagree with this, I would like to debate because I think that this is wholly like 10 out of 10 law. I agree with everything written here. Maybe I would give it even more leeway to the monetary penalty here, but maybe the act of doing section 10.1, which essentially asking the court, maybe that act is very fast, so we don't have to give a shit about like spamming it if they're being retarded. So yeah, that looks good. And this is like when we're thinking about government and we're thinking about why would we want an unelected branch making laws or making decision, this is why. We read this. It is good. Like the way it is written, I don't see a flaw. I don't see an issue. It is the right amount of power for the federal government to have. Like everything seems to be like pretty fucking perfect. There's nothing here that I would change. Like if you oppose to this part, then you kind of oppose to how we already describe it, because in Canada our definition for pornographic material is essentially this. So yeah, I think this is a good law. So what are we expecting this retard to say? Like, I'm what are we expecting this retard to say? I don't know. I feel like this guy has no idea. He probably thinks that the Senate is elected like in the US. So he's going to say the liberal Senate. If he says the liberal Senate, I'll fucking kill myself, bro. Let's go.
Websites, right? And the websites themselves would be financially, engineeringly, that's a word now, and legally liable for implementing, maintaining, and managing that age verification process.
Well, yes and no, right? That's kind of a retarded way to put it, because the way that they put it in the act is not the website should have the infrastructure for this. It's a third party. But hey, you've not read it. It's clear.
In the country of Canada. That is a huge, huge responsibility. The amount of money, the amount of potential legal.
What are we talking about here? Like, if anyone here has ever traded on a crypto exchange, like you have to put in your passport to like trade for some of these international crypto exchange, because they want to adhere to the at least the US law, which is very fucking strict sometimes. Well, I don't know, maybe it changed under Trump. So yeah, like what are we talking about? This system is trivial. This is why we're talking about it so much. Like either you have an identity check, which means that you have some people that their entire job is looking at the ID that you provide them, saying the ID is good, then deleting the ID and leaving a check in the database saying, yes, this person is 18. So what are we talking about here? This is not like uploading shit to Instagram is more complicating than this, right? Do we get the amount of retardation that this means?
Legal liability there for those adult websites is pretty significant. So the adult websites do not want it to happen.
Well, fuck, I don't even know if he knows the word that he's using, but hey, fuck it. Like, when we're talking about liability, the liability is not going to be on the porn website. It's going to be on the third-party company that actually manage these fucking information. So the people doing either the estimator or the verification, that's the one that are going to have the liability for not fucking up the data of the child or the parent or whoever the fuck wants to verify their identity. But I don't think that he understands how this shit works. Like, if you follow the rule, you technically don't have any new liability. What you have is the need to pay a third party to get your age verification, which is going to be a fairly cheap service because it is a simple service.
Happen. So that means that they are pushing to move the onus of doing age verification away from adult websites and onto operating systems. So instead of just say, my adult website.xxx or whatever the site is, they would have to move that to Windows and Linux and Mac.
Whoa, I must have missed something. This is the biggest fucking leap I've ever seen. Holy fuck. Am I retarded? You know what? We're scrolling back 1 minute for this one. Holy shit. Did he say that the responsibility would be on the operating system, but even his post is not saying this?
Right? So what we're talking about here is a law that would implement age verification, but only for adult websites, so porno websites, right? And the websites themselves would be financially, engineeringly, that's a word now, and legally liable for implementing, maintaining, and managing that age verification process in the country of Canada. That is a huge, huge responsibility. The amount of money, the amount of potential legal liability there for those adult websites is pretty significant. So the adult websites do not want it to happen. So that means that they are pushing to move the onus of doing age verification away from adult websites and onto operating systems. So instead of just say, my adult website.xxx or whatever the site is, they would have to move that to Windows and Linux and Mac OS and iOS and Android and operating systems. Operating systems would then.
Okay, so he is saying that the porn companies don't want that. So they're trying to push it to be an operating system wide thing. I would like to have proof of that because from my knowledge, the porn companies are actually never against these things. They're against these things when they're badly implemented. The stress of the porn company is not that there's a check. Who gives a fuck about the checks? Kids are not going to buy fucking porn. The issue that they have is that if it's badly implemented, they're going to end up in court all the time. That sounds like the most retarded thing ever. But here, it's well implemented. I doubt that they even fucking care about this.
And have to do the actual age verification. And so the company that's pushing for it the most hard is a company known as Ethical Capital Partners. Man, that name is just so hard.
Can we have proof of this, or is this a meme? Do I really want to go on his X? You have to go to xcancel.com. There's no way. You must be joking. That's not a real website. You're I don't believe you. No way. Oh my god. Okay.
$100 million per year mega firm. It is a giant porn mega firm run by an Italian Canadian named Rocco Meliambro, along with he has a right-hand man in the firm who is an Arab Canadian.
I love my diversity. I fucking love it.
Just giving us some background on it. And they are pushing really hard to try and get this bill changed, this bill amended to not require the websites to do any age verification, but to have the operating systems do it. So Meliambro's proposed solution is to move the burden of age verification away from the porn websites.
I made it the fuck up.
Entirely on the operating systems. This lets the porn websites completely, almost effectively off the hook, right? They're no longer legally liable for the
Wait. Let's think about this. How does the liability even change? The liability doesn't even change. If maybe technically the porn website doesn't have to pay the age verification. Well, no, because they would still have to pay some kind of verificator to check the operating system age verification, right? This still exists. There's still a link there that needs to happen. So, like, depending on how it's done. And wait, if it's operating system age verification that we would be pushing, wait, that sounds retarded. They would still need to have an alternative way to check because not every operating system will have that capability right off the bat. Then nothing changed. This is so retarded. He's lying about this guy. This guy didn't say that.
Vast majority of the verification, because if the operating system says, hey, adult website, not XXX, whatever, you can totally trust that this person we're passing off to you, they're an adult. Well, then the adult website can say, see, I did my due diligence. I trusted the operating system to do the age verification.
How do they think that age verification works? Is it like you enter the age in the computer and the computer knows? Is this like, does he know that there's going to be able to do an age verification thing, you would need some kind of account. You would need to be logged into the thing. You need a source of truth somewhere. You cannot just say, I'm 18 and it just works. Like, what the fuck does he think it is?
It's ridiculous, and it takes a law that is already dubious, right? That already has significant problems and drawbacks, because doing age verification in any scenario causes issues. There's some significant issues with it. However, it takes it from being a focused age verification only for users of a specific website, and makes it so now every user of any computer in Canada has to do age verification. That's what it would mean if this amendment got added to this particular bill.
No substance. No substance. Example? Sorry, Senator. I made it the fuck up. Okay.
Now here. Let me show you that. Let me show you the text here. What they're proposing here is age verification plus
okay. So that's their truth. That's their source. Can we have a full picture of this? Do we have this full picture anywhere so I can reverse search it or something like that? Aha. Oh, that's their proof. Okay. I cannot copy this. Why is it dated here? That's like giga hold. And that's not even the same law. How was 210 written? We're going to see that this guy is retarded. Ta-da-ta-ta-ta. Is this just the same law that has been repassed? Let's just see. Because right now we're talking about a 2024 thing, okay? It's not even current. Oh man, okay. Sounds like the same header. Okay, that part is not really important. What we need to see is how they go about things. So they only talk about age verification, not age estimation. So that's already a big change. Oh, that's different. Okay, so notice must contain identity, enforcement authority, steps to be with the act, the 20 days. Okay, the internet providers. Okay, they're not talking about any money amount here, but okay. Second order. Yeah, but that seems to be the issue here. The issue here is that there's way less leeway when we're going for verification, where we need to have certainty, right? Is this the meme? Is reliable. I guess you don't have to have certainty, but it would be hard to argue in court that using an age estimator is the same thing as age verification. So I can see why they would want this law to be redone, which it has been, to be improved, to work. So let's take a look at what that's for the initial law, right? That's the one that we just checked 2 seconds ago. Let's see. In brief, submitted to Standing Committee on Public Safety and National Security. Bill S-210, an act to restrict young persons' online access to sexually explicit material. Dated April 18, 2024. On behalf of our boy, Ethical Capital Partner. Protecting minors online, why device-based age verification is the key. Thank you for the opportunity to make a submission to the Standing Committee on Thank you for the opportunity to make a submission to the Standing Committee on Public Safety and National Security, CQ, regarding S210, age to restrict young persons' online access to sexually explicit material. We are writing on the behalf of Halo, an ethical capital partner. Halo, formerly MindGeek, is the technology and media company owner of the large portfolio of adult entertainment properties, Pornhub, YouPorn, RedTube, Brazzer, YouTube has now fucking banned my ass. ECP is the private equity firm managed by a multidisciplinary advisory team with legal, regulatory, law enforcement, public engagement, capital market, and investment banking experience. Just over a year ago, ECP acquired Halo. Our submission is meant to provide insight into the complexities of site-based age verification, highlighting its challenge within existing approaches and the unintended consequences it presents. Additionally, we propose a device-level solution and wish to situate the issue of age verification within the broader context of making the internet safer for all. So if I go and Google this, what will I see? Okay. Can I see who sent things to the fucking committees? Consideration in committee. I guess if it's 2024. Let's try. Pierre Trudel. Okay. East Turkestanian Federation of Canada. We're in, bro. We're in. Can we have... I'll find it. Haha. Alright. Yeah, it sounds a little bit more complex now, eh? Fucking retard. Okay. Introduction. Proceeding with our response to S210. And remember, S210 is not the final one we read at the start. It is a weaker version that does not allow age estimator. S210's stated objective is to protect young people from exposure to pornography. Let us start by stating clearly that we have no interest in minor accessing content, intended for adults. We support clear and comprehensive policy solutions that are both effective at preventing minors from accessing content intended for adults while respecting the privacy and safeguarding the personal identify information of users. What the fuck did I say? We understand that Halo is often considered the industry leader in online adult content. It is based Canadian, okay? And that with this leadership position comes a responsibility to create safe, responsible, and enjoyable platforms where consenting adults can share sex-positive free expression. Okay, you're going a little bit far here, Halo. We believe that a viable technology solution is available to empower parents to prevent their children from accessing content intended for adults. Unfortunately, without a clear standard, parents are presently forced to navigate a weak patchwork of potentially easily evaded verification processes for things like gaming, alcohol, cannabis. Age verification is a very complex subject that brings with it concerns related to data privacy and the potential for uneven and inconsistent application for different digital platforms. That's pretty fucking important. Content creators who publish their content on Halo platform do not want their material viewed by minors or support strong verification not only of the age of the viewer, but of the safety of the content appearing on Halo platforms. Adult entertainers has always been the target of attack from certain ideologically motivated segment of a society. Intended on spreading misinformation about the adult industry. This misinformation is rampant and must be stopped in its track. Existing age verification. We have seen several jurisdictions try to impose platform level, also known as site level, age verification requirement. They have all failed to adequately protect minors. Minors are still able to readily and easily access adult material online in these regions because the compliance is only met by one or few adult platforms and enforcement is lacking. There are hundreds of thousands of sites categorized as adult websites. How many of these sites complies with the law? How does a regulator even contact them in a jurisdiction where unworkable laws, which we believe are unconstitutional, have been passed? Halo platforms have complied. Oh, okay. Here they're trying to lay out that no matter what the fuck happens at the end of the day, they will comply. However, most sites do not comply, making the law completely ineffective at protecting children. I would 100% agree with that. But I think we should also. I don't care about like freedom of speech and that fucking shit. We need to be able to unconnect website from the internet, and we need to do it more often. Okay, this is a thing that we need to get good at. So I'm good with the law that they're trying to pass, and them just sending fucking thing at all the shitty website that have porn on it to remove them from our internet. Since 2015, Halo has been exploring and integrating technologies for verifying age and identity when it comes to the age verification of site visitors. The challenge is not a technological one. The technology means exists. The technological means exists to verify the age of users. There are many third-party tools that accomplish this. However, mandating this from an individual adult website is ineffective, under-inclusive, and most importantly, does not achieve the purpose goal of protecting children online. It requires adult users to provide their sensitive, private information, private something information, identifiable information, multiple time to multiple websites and providers, which are not only dangerous but contrary to any privacy by design approach. I guess that's why if we were to look at this one, they probably don't talk about the fact that the porn website need to be separated from from the one making the fucking check. It's probably not in there, right? Yeah, I think it was supposed to be here. Nice meme. So essentially, all that they said that was good was kept. Oh my, oh my. How bad is this? Oh no. Okay. Let us elaborate on the unintended consequences of existing law and this proposed law. Failure to protect. Okay, I think we're just going to skip and see what their proposed solution is, I guess. Getting legislation right. We are supportive of this regulation because with regulation come responsibility and rights. But this issue is too important to get wrong. We extended invitations to engage with elected officials, including members of this committee, to present Halo research findings on age verification measures implemented across diverse jurisdictions. We are committed to facilitating informed discussion by offering insights into the efficacy of age verification system. We remain steadfast in our readiness to provide research and explore diverse technological solutions. We support both the government and opposition party in their endeavor to enact regulations aimed at ensuring online safety for all, with a particular focus on protecting minors. However, the implementation of regulations that are destined to falter risk undermining public trust in this crucial project. Oh, the implementing of regulation that are destined to falter risks undermining public trust. Okay, so if it's done badly, people won't trust. That's fair. The privacy risk of age verification were highlighted recently by the Australian government, who decided not to proceed with mandatory platform level age verification, as well as the 2023 Texas introduced a law whose stated goal was to prevent minors from accessing age restricting content on the internet. A U.S. federal judge in Texas rightly found that the bill's age verification process and other restrictions An information requirement violated Texans' freedom of speech, raised privacy concern, and was overly broad and vague. A similar law targeting social media platform in Arkansas was also judged unconstitutional around the same time. That's kind of a retarded point. I know why they're saying this, because weird appeal to other systems that have failed makes like people fear that it will fail here, but we don't have the same like freedom of speech retardation in Canada, so it wouldn't really be an issue. Without a uniform approach, adult material will remain widely available to minors. I believe this 100%. Focusing on a handful of sites just because government can and will not solve the problem, it will only result in users frequenting unsafe alternatives. Any effective solution to stop minors accessing adult material must be easy to use, secure, and enforce equitably across all platforms offering adult content. Agree. I essentially agree with everything. The only little part that I kind of want to put a star in is the like. I said it earlier. I think we should start fucking mass disconnecting websites from our internet. Like if we, I I truly believe that if we were to ban X from the Canadian internet, we would have less mental health issues like instantly. It would be like a release. Anyway, like there's some things that we need to talk about in Canada and in other countries too. All right. Okay, so they give their device level solution where let's look at the verification because I feel like this is kind of, you know what? Let's look at the verification and I'll yap afterward. What about r/Unix porn? It doesn't fit the requirements needed under the act. It's not explicitly for sexual pleasure, but yeah, so we're good. Or is this a Twitter and I'm retarded? If it's a Twitter, I don't give a fuck. Ban it. As a leader in our industry, we are fully prepared to collaborate with policymakers to develop precise, enforceable, and efficient age verification mechanism at the device level. We are equipped and eager to engage with both governmental authorities and operating system provider to showcase the viability of implementing age verification directly on devices, thereby promptly restricting access to adult content on a per device or per account basis. Such collaboration would take a form of a pilot project illustrating our collective commitment by governments and internet companies alike to devising internet native solutions that prioritize online safety for minors. We all share the responsibility in this endeavor. Okay, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I think that it's kind of retarded because we have a Reddit is okay. It's way less bad than X. Like I think that we have a retarded view of things where we don't want kids to see porn, but then we don't want any way to actually see if someone is a kid. So I'm like all the arguments of tyranny of, oh my god, if you're checking things, you're gonna destroy my First Amendment right or my whatever the fuck, that's all retarded. The truth is, we should have an ID on the internet. So every computer should have like an ID, or every account on a computer should have a specific ID. That ID should be linked to an identity from the government. So we should have some kind of government database where this is your ID is linked to this ID, and you should be able to just query the ID for age. So you should be able to say, "Hey fucker, are you over 18?" and it would say yes. We need a technology like that. Now we could say, okay, fuck it, we don't make it hardware, right? We don't make it on the hardware side. We can make it online only. So you could have an account, a specific account with a token from the government. You put that token into your Pornhub account, and then it can check it itself. Okay, that works. That works too. Like we need this. We need to start having some fucking balls and taking the information of our citizen to be able to have a safe internet and do things without, like, right now people don't see it and they're kind of retarded. In my fucking country, in Alberta is about to have a fucking referendum because they think that most people in Alberta want to leave Canada. It's not true. It's 99% propaganda, 99% lies that comes from the US, that comes from Russia. This could all be thwarted if we just knew who the fuck was making these statements. If we had a flag above the name of whoever the fuck was making this statement, we would see that the people are not fucking Canadian. So that could be so easy to fix. Isn't that what already works? Well, no, right? My point is that we would have a government ID, right? We would have one ID for everything that we could bind into in order to know age. Like, this would be way better. And any like Canadian facing website, social media should have we should have access to the country of those people. We should be easily able to know, is the person that I'm talking to a Canadian or not? This should be like a default. All right, back to Lunduke the retard. So he's saying, essentially, let me take a thing that is 2 years old for a law that doesn't exist anymore. There's a new law that has been upgraded to fit within a better framework and a less restrictive framework in order to be able to work with the industry and make things work. It addressed the issue, like it addressed essentially all the issues that were raised inside of their little article thingy here. It addressed all the issue, but one. The only one that is not addressed is the fact that other websites that are not within the Canadian jurisdiction but still provide services to Canadian might not follow the law. And for that, like I said, we need to start banning, okay? We need to start fucking cutting off the internet. That needs to happen. We got all the good websites. Okay. Brazer is part of it? God damn. Okay. So, what's wrong? What's wrong with the industry telling the government, hey, brothers, what you're doing seems short-sighted. Here's all the insight we have. Do whatever the fuck you want with it, and we will follow whatever you choose. What's wrong with that?
Device-based solution. We remain firm that device-based verification is the solution, says the ethical, what's their name again? Ethical Capital Partners. We believe that the real solution for protecting minors and adults alike is to verify users' ages at the point of access, the user's devices, and to deny or permit access to age-restricted materials and websites based on that verification. Horrific. The whole...
How is it? There's no argument that are being made. It's crazy. He's just saying age verification, operating system age verification. Why is it even bad? Why? Like, it doesn't change anything. You don't have to have it. That's the crazy part. You don't have to have it. That's what's fun with Linux. You can just compile your shit however the fuck you want. You can disable your shit however the fuck you want. Nobody is there with a fucking gun being like, if you don't do it, I'll kill you. Nobody is doing this. If Canada, which is not your country, retard, if Canada wants to have a country where porn requires an ID to watch, this is our prerogative. We have that choice. We can do it. And we do want to go ahead in this direction. Okay? Most people in Canada are having this discussion. We have entire fucking provinces that are throwing like, should we limit social media to minors? Should we enforce screen time by the law? Should we, like, this is a question that is extremely potent right now in Canada. Who are you to say that what I'm doing, what we're doing, is wrong? You don't even have an argument. At least come with an argument. At least. Because I'm open to anybody saying that I'm a retard for talking about, like, US politics. All right, I'm in. I have arguments, okay? I'll debate your ass. You have just vibed your way through this and said, big company don't want to pay for age verification on their website. No, they're trying to make a system that works.
The whole brief is absolutely asinine. This was submitted on April 18th of 2024 to get it into this particular bill, and this has been just sitting and languishing and
In this
iterating
particular
through
bill?
Canadian
Well,
law for some time.
okay.
Now, the good news is, as of right now, these amendments have not made their way into the Canadian bill that's being voted on. Right now, Canadian Bill S-209 is remaining firmly just adult-only websites. And again, there's still some concerns with that. There's privacy issues, there's security issues.
Well, not really. Not really, Lunduke. Not really. Maybe if you would have read the law, maybe you would know. This does not preclude operating system level age verification. This does not prevent it. I'm not sure if preclude is the right word. So prevent it. Even age verification on the OS level would make way more sense for all of this to be applied. And worse than that, it seems that the government already wants this to pass. If this was at the stage where we were essentially saying, like, when you're that far into the process, that means that you want to pass this, it's just that it was not like the right time politically to pass it. So this will happen, whether you want it or not. This new fucking law will happen, and this law, like, technically, they could, right? The minister could come out and say, so our process that we want is age verification on the OS level, and if you don't have that confirmation, sorry, brother, sorry, you're not getting porn. Like, they could do that. It's up to them. It does not limit anything here. It does not limit this.
Issues. There's a lot of issues there, but at least
What?
it's not every computer connected to in Canada. Heavens to Betsy. But here's some interesting things to think about with this.
Oh,
this is exactly the same reason that Meta, parent company of Facebook, has been pushing for the exact same thing in the United States, right? There's been multiple laws proposed in the United States.
Fuck, I hate this. I hate this fucking conspiracy slop. We're like, age verification. Age verification is AIDS, okay? It is AIDS to implement. You don't want to have to log into each website and have a different, like, magical ID account thing that you need to put your passport in and then go on to be able to use it. You don't, like, setting up an account shouldn't be a fucking 12-year storyline. Like, oh, within 1 week, you're going to be able to connect to your ex account. How fun. No, like, you should be able to just fucking go, and because you have your government mandated ID, or whichever authority will do this, you should be able to boop, create your account right away. They do the checkup, the API answers right away. Ta-da, you have an account. Why is this retard not able to understand this? Why does age verification? You don't have to use it if you don't want to. Does he understand that? Okay.
States that would put age verification requirements onto websites. Well, okay, that's one thing. But that would require sites like Facebook or potentially others, because a lot of these laws specifically target social media. That would require Facebook to implement the age verification, administer it, run it, be legally liable for it, and they would be on the hook for it. And the investment that it would cost them is potentially massive, right? A massive amount of money, a massive potential legal liability for Facebook. So what has Facebook?
That's so retarded. That's such a, like, this is such a, does this guy talk about crypto? If he said Bitcoin anytime in his life, and if he said that people should buy Bitcoin, does he have a Bitcoin link on his fucking thing? If so, he can hang himself. Okay, he can hang himself. Bitcoin donation? You can absolutely hang, okay? This is retarded. You know, you've went on a fucking, you Coomer piece of shit, you went on a fucking Bitcoin exchange and he put in his fucking passport. Okay, I guarantee you, this guy put in his fucking government mandated ID or passport to log in into the fucking website. And he's like, hey, I don't see how this is an issue if each fucking website that I go to will need to have this retarded procedure done for everything. I don't see the issue there. I don't see the inefficiency. Brother, we can fix this by, instead of making the check on the website, making it on the fucking computer. Bro, he wants to watch Brazer though. Okay. Let's go ahead with he wants to watch Brazer. The OS level thing doesn't preclude him watching Brazer. It doesn't remove his ability. You think that Brazer is going to just fucking masturbate on the bottom line and be like, you know what? There's all of these people that could be watching our porn that don't have a computer capable of age verification on it, but we're not going to give them access to our porn because we're giga fucking retarded. No, there's going to be multiple ways to go about this. The age verification is not going to be this magical thing that's going to like boop into existence and now you cannot watch porn. It's going to be a process. You're going to be able to log in and do the old way, but also if you want to be not retarded, you're going to have the old way like available to you. So you have the new way and the old way, right? Both of them can work at the same time. So either you have an account which you have to upload your fucking passport, or your OS. You've done it for your OS, so it's done. You're good to go. You can now watch porn. Bro, it's that simple. You fucking coomer.
Facebook been doing? They've been lobbying in some states to try and basically move who is responsible for age verification, not to get rid of age verification, but to move it onto operating systems. And they spent quite a bit of money to try and lobby exactly that and move it to the operating system level, because then that again gets Facebook off the hook. Just like this ethical capital partners, this company in Canada, they want to be off the hook. They don't want to be liable for the age verification. So they get Microsoft to do it.
He doesn't want to upload anything. Well, he doesn't want age verification then. He wants an age estimator. You want an age estimator? Just say that, you fucking monkey. What the fuck? Like, he's always in his off the hook. I feel like, which hook are we talking about? Does he understand what fucking democracy is? Like, do I need to word this in the American way? Like, we the people, we the people don't want our kids to be affected by porn. Pew, 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 pew. And we want pew, 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 to have age verification in order to not have pew, 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 our kids born. Oh shit, my third stepson has been shot in a school. Pew, 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 pew. That's my American right. We gotta fucking bleed off the tree of liberty sometime in a week. Pew, pew. Like, what are we talking about here? Bro, your governments, okay, I'm saying governments because it's a state level, want a thing. Your people voted for a thing. And that thing is age verification. There's two ways to do age verification. We can maybe put a little star in age estimator, but it seems that you people don't fucking like it. So, there's two ways to do age verification. Either A, log in into each fucking account where you're going to have to upload your fucking passport into that dumb fuck patchwork of website and shit you're going to like have to connect to, just like a Bitcoin exchange. Is that what you want? Do you want to wait and have to upload your passport? And you know you're not retarded. Oh, sorry, you are. But you still know that your old grandma, okay, your grandma bitch, she's dead, I know, and she's so happy that she's dead. But your grandma is going to put her passport or her ID onto fucking Instagram because of you, okay? She's gonna manage, she wants to see what the kids do. She's gonna go on Instagram and upload her ID there. Because you were too retarded to make it simple. Because you precious little bitch, are too fucking retarded to be able to just let people do what they want when it doesn't affect you at all?
Get Apple to do it. Get the Linux developers to do it. Then they don't have to be responsible for it. You see what they're doing here?
It's not. None of them do it. You fucking monkey. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. This is. I need less coffee. Fuck. Linux dev don't do anything. Does he get that? The OS cannot fucking assess which age you are. It's an external agency.
This is purely business for them, right? For now, our Facebook and ethical capital partners aligned in some sort of shadow conspiracy to harvest information from everyone? No, because if it was that, they would handle it themselves on their websites. Those companies, they don't want anything to do with the age verification, not because they're opposed to the age verification, but because they're opposed to being responsible for it, to being liable for it, and having to pay for it. They want the operating system vendor.
Well, no, they don't want the operating system vendor to... That's not the issue. The issue is that it adds friction in using your service. People will go to the service that has the least friction possible. And when you make a service that requires 15 check and uploaded a fucking retinal scan in order to get in, people are not going to use it, and they're going to go on russiaporn.com in order to see their porn. It's that simple. All they want is for the system to be fair, so to be addressed to be like the same for everyone, and to be simple for the user. That's where the OS side of things comes in.
Vendors to do that for them, right? You see what they're doing here? It's asinine. It's truly
How so? No argument have been done.
Asinine. So instead of getting rid of the age verification laws, which would be probably the best for everybody, Facebook and its ethical capital partners, right? You see what they're doing here? It's asinine. It's truly asinine. So instead of getting rid of the age verification laws, which would be probably the best for everybody,
What? Okay. So his position is age verification bad? And you just want no age verification, kids watching porn? Alright, cool. Could you have stated that at the start, you fucking dumb fuck? Wouldn't that be simpler? Wouldn't it be simpler to say, you know, I don't care. Kids can watch porn. That's okay. And you know what? You would have asked me like 5 years ago, when I was a kid. I would have told you the same, okay? At 19, I would have told you, hey, that wasn't that bad. Who gives a fuck? And now that I'm older and a little bit brighter, okay? I know. Maybe it wasn't good. But hey, if that's your position, stop being a fucking retard and acting as if you have arguments when you have not deposited any arguments. And just say that. Just say, I don't want age verification. I want to be able to jerk off, and I want my 12-year-old daughter to be able to click her with true porn. Easy! I love it!
Facebook and its ethical capital partners, they're pushing to make it even worse. They're pushing to make it far, far worse, because now, instead of just age verifying adults accessing adult-only websites, now it's age verifying and ID verifying children, creating...
No, actually, no. Actually, you're retarded. Actually, it is age verifying adults only, and if you don't have an ID, then we assume that you're a kid. It's really that simple, brother. It's that simple.
Databases of little kids via the operating system providers, and therefore...
Oh, whoa. That's a stretch, brother. The OS has... You think that Microsoft is going to know which one are a kid and which one are not a kid? It's the government that is going to tell you that, or some other third-party entity. You think that the Wait, this guy is so retarded. This must be part of America brain here. Okay, it turns out. Okay, just maybe for my two fabulous American viewers, it turns out that other countries don't like it to purely rely on American companies. Yeah, shocking, because we always fear that things like Donald J. Trump might happen and we might be fucked. So if you think that we're just going to sit on our hands and be like, oh, Microsoft's got all of our information, how cute, and we're just going to clap along, brother, you're a dumb fuck.
For putting the safety of families and small children in jeopardy. And they're all doing it because they want to save a few bucks.
Like, how? Wait. So, his view right now is that everybody will be able to know if you're a kid or not. When in reality, it's going to be if your account has been verified, is going to show or not. So you don't know if someone is a kid or not. You just know if someone gave a shit enough to verify their account. That's all this is. Like, you cannot just divine, they don't have a verification, it's a toddler. I need an ID for my toddler. How retarded would that be?
By not being legally responsible for the age verification laws that they don't feel that they can stop.
Sam will talk about it.
Evil. The age verification laws are a terrible idea. The website companies, Facebook and Meta, and this Ethical Capital Partners pushing to move it towards the operating system manufacturers and at the device level, that's evil. That's just pure evil. That's just going to make people, everybody, every child on Earth, far less safe.
Why?
In fact, we've already seen the rescinding of COPA regulations, which would allow companies to be forced to collect identification of children without parental consent in the name of age verification laws. It's absolutely asinine.
Wait. Is this guy mentally ill? What the fuck is this?
Regulations which would allow companies to be forced to collect identification of children without parental consent in the name of...
Does he... I feel like he's like taking how a law is written and thinks it's like an order of a thing. So technically, right now, every website, every porn website is forced to take information of children and, well, without parental consent, and check. Fuck, I'll try a thing, and if it works, we're going on Pornhub, guys. All right. So, let's say we're going on Pornhub. I'm not joking. Let's say that I'm a toddler, okay? I am going on Pornhub. Ta-da-ta-ta-ta. I'm 12 and I want to explore. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Oh my, is this a website collecting information without the consent of my parent? Ta-da-ta-ta-ta. Yes. Is the law going to say you are authorized and need to collect information about the fucking 12-year-old that is looking at this page in order to tell if yes or no you should ban them or you should keep them? Yes. Oh, I am under 18. That's true. That's me. Oh, it's intended for... I didn't know. Da-da-da-da-da. It's that simple, brother. It's that simple. To be able to do an age estimation or age verification that is soft, you need to take information. You need to send bytes of data from computer A to computer B in order to know if they click yes or no. No, I'm not clicking the other button. We're on YouTube, okay?
Of age verification.
I got balls, but not that much.
What's happening is absolutely crazy. You
crazy.
Can get all this stuff.
No argument have been laid out. 10 minutes. Zero argument. Just evil, crazy. There's no arguments.
parl.ca, the Canadian Parliament, and ourcommons.ca.
Oh,
it's all
fuck, you
listed
put
up
the
there.
link in.
I've also put it up at on my X account.
But
I've
nobody
linked
read
to
it, of course,
the Canadian
because
law
they're
and
retarded.
where it's going. Now, the Canadian law has not passed, and thankfully, the Canadian law has not yet pulled in these regulatory ideas, these amendments, which would move it to the operating system level that are being proposed by Ethical Capital Partners and Rocco
But
Meliambro.
it doesn't remove the fact that it's possible.
Sounds like Canadian mafia to me.
No, it
so,
sounds like
pretty
fucking Canada, you racist piece of shit. I know that you want everyone to be like you because you're fucking dumb. Oh my god, could it be that Canadians actually give a shit about having people that like their country instead of having people that are permanently thought about as a fucking second class of retard that cannot have their own identity other than desperately trying to be American?
ridiculous. It's just yet more insanity that's coming down the line with operating system age verification. It's ridiculous. It's utterly preposterous. Thank you to the Lunduke Journal subscribers for making it possible to do the work that I do. I absolutely could not do this without you. If I had to rely on advertisers and corporate sponsors to do this sort of work,
if I had to rely on people that care about their image.
The Lunduke Journal, the 10-foot pole, for good reason. So go to Lunduke.com if you want to support the work that I do. You can get a monthly, yearly, or lifetime subscription there. You can get
This guy, I guarantee you, this guy has not read the law. He has not read the full fucking briefing that was given by the company, and he's literally recycling something that is 2-year-old.
You just grab free subscriptions all over the internet at all sorts of places to listen and watch. If you get a lifetime subscription, you can get added to the
Yes, Epstein conspiracy. I don't understand things. Putting up barricades at the OS level is like police stopping people from walking down the street unless they are old enough, because some street might lead to adult entertainment. Okay, I'm gonna go